Yes, indeed. The most wonderful time of the year, and that's just one of the many holiday songs I'm sure you're going to hear this weekend at the Wells Fargo Center when Johnny Mathis brings his holiday show to the Wells Fargo Center for the Performing Arts, along with a big symphony orchestra. It's going to be a wonderful couple evenings. It's Saturday and Sunday. And joining us on the drive right now, Mr. Johnny Mathis. Johnny, welcome.
Well, thank you very much.
It's great to talk to you. And
thank you.
I know you were born in Texas, but as a small boy, you moved to San Francisco, and you pretty much grew up in the Bay Area here, right?
Yeah, my dad moved my family to San Francisco when I was about 4, I think, and I grew up there and spent a lot of time in your area with my dad, fishing and hunting and doing all sorts of great stuff. Yeah,
that's amazing. And you became interested in music at a pretty early age as well, right?
Well, my dad was a very good musician, and he sang. And I think after I recorded my initial records, I think I recorded almost everything that he taught me.
Really?
And I started singing, in front of people when I was about 7 or 8 years old. So. It never got easy, but I enjoyed it.
And you sang in the church choir and community events?
I sang at school and in the church choir, and it was. Music has always been a very integral part of my life, and I know that over the years I've traveled around the world, and I know that it means a great deal to a lot of people. So it's a very rewarding thing to have music in your life.
Now, you went to George Washington High School in San Francisco, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. And you were a star athlete, too, as well as a singer.
Yep. I was a high jumper and a hurdler, played basketball with people like Bill Russell and Casey Jones.
Wow.
So I was pretty good at it, but music was the overriding thing.
And then you enrolled at San Francisco State.
I went there for about a year and a half. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I think I wanted to be a teacher of some sort. I had really good teachers when I was growing up, and then all of a sudden the music sort of took over.
Yeah, and how did you get your start musically? I mean, to get to the your first level of professionalism, your first album, etc.
There's a gentleman by the name of George Avakian who came through San Francisco to visit his cousin, who was Helen Sarfarjan, who owned a nightclub called the Black Hawk, and it was a jazz club. He heard me sing and signed me to a contract.
And I see your first album was a collection of jazz-oriented renditions of popular standards, and you had some great jazz musicians, including the great Gil Evans on that album.
Yep, Manny album, Gil Evans, John Lewis of the Modern Jazz Quartet.
Wow.
Just the best musicians. I was shaking in my boots when I sang with those people. It was quite an extraordinary debut.
I got to say, one of the most beautiful pieces that you've ever recorded, in my opinion, was Errol Garner's "Misty." Everyone loves that one. That must have been How did you discover that?
Yeah, I heard Errol Garner play "Misty" when I was maybe 12, 13 years old, and there were no lyrics to it yet. He had yet to meet let's see, Johnny. Oh God, I forgot the writer, the lyric writer. But I heard it at an early age and got to meet Errol Garner and people like Oscar Peterson and Dizzy Gillespie. They all came through San Francisco, and they all came through this to this jazz club, and I was in heaven.
Yeah, I can imagine. And through all these albums and so many hits back then, you're still recording, correct?
Yep. I don't record as much, but I do at least one album a year. Yeah.
And your Christmas albums are classics. What can everyone expect this weekend here at the Wells Fargo Center? I assume you're doing, besides all the Christmas music, you're going to be playing some of your big hits. You've got to, right?
Yeah, do the Holy Trinity. Chances are 12th of Never, Misty, and I will sing a lot of Christmas music. Yep, absolutely.
And a 31-piece orchestra is what I'm told.
At least. Yeah, it's a nice big orchestra and a wonderful place for me singing-wise. I've been appearing there for the last 2 or 3 years, and it's just a wonderful venue, and I enjoy it very much, and I hope the public comes and enjoys it with me.
Yeah, we were handing out some tickets last week on this show, and the response was amazing. So you're going to have a couple filled houses on Saturday and Sunday at the Wells Fargo Center.
I'm looking forward to it.
Now, you were on the Ed Sullivan Show quite often.
Yep. When I was that was a big deal when I was growing up.
Yeah. I know, big deal for all of us. We used to every Sunday watch that show. And I got to ask you, was Ed a weird guy or just a real nice guy?
He's a nice guy with no talent for
anything.
for television.
Right.
He was a good writer, I guess. He wrote a column, sort of a gossipy column.
Right.
But he had no talent at all for what he did, and how he became so well known is beyond me.
Right place, right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
That must have been wild, though, on that Ed Sullivan Theater, which is now where David Letterman, of course, does his show. Yeah,
the thing about Ed Sullivan's show is it was live nationwide, and it was a tiny little studio.
Yeah.
It looked big.
It looked huge.
It looked huge on television, but it was tiny. And we had Chinese acrobats and elephants all standing backstage, getting ready to go on. They had to stand in the street, really. And the minute you open the door from the street, you're on the stage. And it was quite a circus, the entire thing. So if the nerves were tremendous on Ed Sullivan. You were very nervous. You'd have Chinese acrobats 1 minute, and then have Leontine Price singing.
Right.
And then you'd have some doo-wop group singing, and then I'd come on and sing, and it was just one right after the other. And Ed would always he'd mess up the introductions. Right. He'd introduce them too soon, and then they wouldn't be ready, and he'd say, and now let's hear it for the Beatles, and they weren't quite ready. And anyway, it's quite a unique experience.
Yeah, there's never been anything like it since, and there won't be, that's for sure.
No.
It had to be amazing. I just... the elephants, you have to walk through the elephants.
Oh, yeah, and if people could really know how tiny that studio was where all this stuff was going on, it was amazing. And he had another little thing that he used to do. They'd let you rehearse as many songs as you wanted to. And of course you thought you were going to sing all these songs, but you wouldn't. And along the way, the producer, or the director rather, would come to you and say, we're running out of time, and this is when the show's going on. We're running out of time, and you can only sing 1/2 chorus of this song. And what? Well, how will I get there? How will I stop? And that sort of thing was all going.
You had to edit. On. You had to edit yourself live.
Absolutely,
incredible. Wow. Now, 2006 marked your 50th anniversary as a recording artist. That's amazing. And you've got. Is it true you have a television special for PBS?
I did. Let's see, must be 5 years ago now.
Okay, I missed that.
It was a wonderful experience. I went back to all of my old haunts in San Francisco and recanted sort of redid my steps along the way, and sang a lot of songs that along the way I've recorded. And public broadcasting is a wonderful vehicle. Especially for people who want to see, good television.
Yep. And so I assume that's available on DVD then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 50th anniversary celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Got to check that out. Well, we're looking forward to it. 2 big shows, 2 big nights this weekend at the Wells Fargo Center. It's Johnny Mathis, the Christmas holiday show with all his big hits included as well, and a large 31-piece symphony orchestra. It's going to be great, Johnny, and we sure appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
All right, and we'll see you this weekend.
Good.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.